Hello, 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 and welcome to another one. We're turning up, yo. We're turning up. Um, so yesterday we finished the certification project, which seems to have not saved. Oh, allow it. It actually seems to have not saved anything. Oh, oh dear God, I was so scared. Cool. All right, cool. So, um, yeah, let's run some tests, and yeah, cool. I have downloaded it on my actual machine, which is not this one. And I will be playing around with the what's it called? Playing around with this CSS, but I don't need it to pass the test and sort of move forward. So I'm gonna move forward. Um, Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, you can still hear. So yeah, we're one certification project down. It's 5 certification projects, and we're on to the next bit. So modern JavaScript methods by building a football team cards. Okay, cool. One common aspect of building web applications: processing data sets and then output information to the screen. In this sports team cards project, you'll learn how to work with DOM manipulation, object destructuring, event handling, and data filtering. This project will cover concepts like switch statements, default parameters, object.freeze, and the map method, and more. All right, let's get it started in here. Okay, so there's a preview of it. We can do some filters. We can find some positions. What's this? Okay. So it just displays information, does it? Okay, cool. All the HTML and CSS for this project has been provided. We will build a set of football team cards and learn about nested objects, object destructuring, default parameters, event listeners, and switch. Start by accessing the ID called team from the HTML document and store it in a constant variable named team name. Okay, so we've just done this in the certification project. So let's create a const team name document dot get element by ID. We do have to provide a string, but we don't have to include the bits here. ID called sports from the HTML document and store it because the type of sport below the variable assign the ID of year, World Cup year. Cool. So I'm creating this because I know I will need it again for the very next line. So why not save myself a few keystrokes? So constant type of sports will equal to sport and I'll go here to yeah. Cool. So same thing. We'll need 2 more of those. Head coach. Head coach. Player cards. Player cards. So I mean, they're sort of spoon feeding this to me. You know, I'm having to write the code for it and put in the right syntax, but they're telling me, you know, create sort of element handlers for all of these elements, and they're giving me the ID of the element, and they're telling me the method to use. Now, I guess sort of in the real world, I'd probably have to go into the HTML document, inspect it, see what the best CSS selector is. And I guess we'll come down to CSS selectors later. But ideally, you want elements that you want to use to have IDs, because IDs are unique identifiers and only exist for that particular element. So you're always guaranteed to be grabbing the element that you want to be grabbing. Whereas if it's not and you're having to use CSS selectors, you have to be fairly good at CSS selectors in order to make sure you are selecting the right element. So yeah, I haven't talked about CSS selectors a lot. It might come up in the course, but if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll circle back to it someday. Or if you got, excuse me, any questions, then you can of course drop those in the comments, and you know, I'll hopefully get to it as well. I finished my bottle, and someone's at the door. One sec. Let's pause. Real life, yo. Real life. So yeah, let's just do that one more time. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna start doing some object stuff. I'm gonna copy this, avoid typos. Oh, I've forgotten what the syntax for objects is. I don't need to remember it because.
You want me to put this back on bed?
No, make your bed and then jump in after.
Oh.
Like you always do, please. Alright. Back. And we're back. Yes, I don't need to remember the syntax because it will come with familiarity. But I can always go into the documentation and figure it out. All right, so the key doesn't need it, only the value if it's a string. Okay. Not equals to. My bad. Because the number value, I don't need to add the strings notation. I didn't notice they also adding the commas to the end of the previous key value pair. Cool. So we start dealing with some nested objects. So our next sort of key value pair is head coach, but its value is actually an object. And within that object, we have sorry, I am falling asleep, as you can see, because I am tired and I am tired as I can be. And I do not have the words for another part of the song. I'm just tired and I don't want to fall asleep. Carlos Ronaldo matches number value of 7. So this is what I meant by recognizing that they gave me the commas. So we're bearing in mind that this is actually so within this. So indent you right. Man, I'm tired. My head is gone. I feel like when I'm tired, these videos are just half me saying I'm tired and stretching and doing weird stuff. Cool. obviously going to just do that. Because why would I? So within players, we have an array of objects. I feel like this was stuck in there as a trick to get someone failing. Yep. You know what? This is how they untied, yeah. Turn into. You know what it is, black and yellow, black and yellow. Man, I'm tired. Okay, so they filled out the rest of the data for this, and that's a lot of data. I'm using that notation to get through to my favorite. Oh, please. Cool. Okay. So once you have an object, we can lock it in place with the object freeze. So afterwards, I'm just going to say object freeze. Cool. I'm good for today. I'm calling it there. I'm so tired. Cool. So thank you guys for joining me, man. I appreciate it. Let's see if I can't just. Yep. Okay. And that is that. You guys have a good rest of the day and keep turning up.